Character formation. Compiled by Rosalind T. Lopez. Character formation. It is the process by which the individual, through interaction of biologically transmitted predispositions with the environment, develops stable pattern of functioning, thinking and feeling. Also known as character building. It is that deeply internalized patterns of values and attitudes and the consequent actions, that are often established in precognitive times of life, through the natural and normal educational patterns that are appropriate for young children. Contributing factors for character formation. Parental influence. Home environment. School environment, and culture. Parental influence. The most important of all factors responsible for personality development. Parents are the first educators of the children. Parental guidance and discipline creates the kind of character, personality, and attitude of the child. Home environment. Home, as cradle of human character and personality, largely contribute to the character formation of a child. School environment. School reinforce the education that the child needs. Culture. Different cultures have different values, and a child grows up with them, subconsciously absorbing the same. 6 pillars of character. Trustworthiness. Respect. Responsibility. Fairness. Caring, and citizenship. Trustworthiness. The quality of a person that inspires reliability. It concerns a variety of qualities like honesty, integrity, reliability, and loyalty. When a person is trusted, he is given a greater leeway and no need to be monitored just to assure that they meet their obligations. Under trustworthiness. Honesty and loyalty. Honesty as fundamental ethical value, associated with honor. Honesty in communications is expressing the truth as best we know it and not conveying it in a way likely to mislead or deceive. Loyalty. Develop the ability of safeguarding confidential information. A responsibility that each one should develop and maintain to promote the interest of certain people, organizations, or affiliations. 5 dimensions of honesty. Truthfulness. Sincerity. Candor. Integrity, and reliability. Truthfulness, presenting the facts to the best of our knowledge. Intent is the crucial distinction between truthfulness and truth itself. Being wrong is not the same thing as lying, although honest mistakes can still damage trust insofar as they may show sloppy judgment. Sincerity. The quality of being free from pretense, deceit, or hypocrisy. Is the virtue of one who communicates and acts in accordance with the entirety of their feelings, beliefs, thoughts, and desires, in a manner that is honest and genuine. One must observe genuineness, being without trickery or duplicity, for it precludes all acts, including half-truths, out-of-context statements, and even silence, that are intended to create beliefs or leave impressions that are untrue or misleading. Candor. Frankness, forthrightness, or openness. The quality of being open and honest in expression. Imposing the obligation to volunteer information that another person needs to know. Integrity. The practice of being honest, and showing a consistent and uncompromising adherence to strong moral and ethical principles and values. There is no difference in the way he makes decisions from situation to situation. His principles don't vary at work or at home, in public or alone. Reliability. Promise-keeping. The quality of being trustworthy or of performing consistently well. Those who keep their promises, for he believes that doing so create legitimate basis for another person to rely on him, and that he undertakes special moral duties. They accept the responsibility of making all reasonable efforts to fulfill their commitments. Promise-keeping is such an important aspect of trustworthiness. Considerations to maintain reliability. Number 1. Avoid bad faith excuses. Interpret your promises fairly and honestly. Don't try to rationalize non-compliance. Number 2. Avoid unwise commitments. Before making a promise, consider carefully whether you are willing and likely to keep it. Think about unknown or future events that could make it difficult, undesirable, or impossible. Sometimes, all we can promise is to do our best. And, number 3. Avoid unclear commitments. Be sure that when you make a promise, the other person understands what you are committing to do. Second pillar of character. Respect, also called esteem, is a positive feeling or action shown towards someone or something, considered important or held in high esteem or regard. It conveys a sense of admiration for good or valuable qualities. It is also the process of honoring someone, by exhibiting care, concern, or consideration for their needs or feelings. Respect prevents violence, humiliation, manipulation, and exploitation. It reflects notions, ideas or philosophies, such as civility, politeness, courtesy, decency, dignity, autonomy, tolerance, and acceptance. Everyone has a right to be treated with dignity. We have a responsibility to be the best we can be in all situations, even when dealing with unpleasant people. The golden rule in human relation: do unto others, as you would have them do unto you. Qualities of a respectful person. Ability to listen. Treat others with consideration. And capable of accepting individual differences and beliefs. Third pillar of character. Responsibility. The state or fact of having a duty to deal with something or of having control over someone. Being responsible means to take charge, and be accountable of the consequences of what we think and do. Qualities of a responsible person. Sense of accountability. Pursuit of excellence, and self-restraint. Sense of accountability. The obligation or willingness to accept responsibility for one's actions. Leads by example and doesn't shift blame or claim credit for the work of others. Pursuit of excellence. A mindset of continuous improvement. Always look for ways to do their work better. Shows diligence on whatever he is doing. Self-restraint. Control over your own actions or feelings that keeps you from doing things you want to do, but should not do. Exercise self-control, restraining passions and appetites, like lust, hatred, gluttony, greed, and fear, for the sake of long-term vision and better judgment. Fourth pillar of character. Fairness. The quality of treating people equally or in a way that is right or reasonable. The quality of making judgments that are free from discrimination, and treating people justly, not letting your personal feelings bias your decisions about others. Adherence to a balanced standard of justice without relevance to one's own feelings or inclinations. Seeking out relevant information and conflicting perspectives before making important judgments, and making decisions objectively without favoritism or prejudice. Fifth pillar of character. Caring. Feeling or showing concern for or kindness to others. Highest form of caring is the honest expression of benevolence, or altruism. Unselfishness, selfless or self-sacrifice. Sixth pillar of character. Citizenship. Is a relationship between an individual and a state, to which the individual owes allegiance, and in turn is entitled to its protection. Civic virtues and duties that prescribe how we ought to behave as part of a community. Knowing and obeying laws. Character traits. Character traits are valued aspects of a person's behavior. Everyone has character traits, both good and bad. Character traits. Usually formed through the identification with parents and other important adults in the child's environment. Character traits are the individual qualities or attributes that make up your character, or personality. Character traits may be positive or negative, and are often described using adjectives such as loyal, honest, ambitious, or friendly. Some people may have character traits that are generally viewed with a negative connotation, such as disloyal, dishonest, rude, disrespectful, or selfish. Everyone is partly responsible for one's character. Character develops over time as one acquires habits from parents and the environment, either through reward and punishment. Personality traits. Broadly, there are 5 parameters which describe an individual's personality. These 5 dimensions are also called as Big 5 factors, and the model is referred to as 5-factor model, also abbreviated as FFM. The 5-factor model was initially proposed by Costa and McRae in the year 1992, and often describes the relation between an individual's personality and various behaviors. The following are the 5 parameters which describe an individual's personality. Openness to experience, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. Number 1. Openness to experience. Sometimes named intellect. Appreciation for a variety of experiences. Individuals with openness to experience are generally very active, have a tremendous inclination towards creativity and aesthetics, and listen to their heart, or follow their inner feelings. Such individuals are generally open to new learnings, skill sets, and experiences. Highly open individuals have a broad rather than narrow range of interests, are sensitive rather than indifferent to art and beauty, and prefer novelty to routine. Such individuals are conservative, reluctant to changes, and have a traditional approach in life. Number 2. Conscientiousness. As the name suggests, individuals with a conscientiousness personality trait listen to their conscience and act accordingly. Conscientious individuals are task-focused and orderly, rather than distractible and disorganized. Planning ahead rather than being spontaneous. Or, to do things right. The quality of wishing to do one's work a duty well and thoroughly. Such individuals are extremely cautious and self-disciplined. They never perform any task in haste but think twice before acting. People with this personality trait are generally methodical and tend to become perfectionists in the long run. People who score high on conscientiousness are proactive, goal-oriented and self-disciplined. They strive hard to accomplish goals and objectives within the stipulated time frame. Number 3. Extroversion. Refers to a state where individuals show more concern towards what is happening outside. Such individuals love interacting with people around and are generally talkative. Highly extrovert individuals are assertive and sociable, rather than quiet and reserved. They do not like spending time alone but love being the center of attraction of parties and social gatherings. Such individuals love going out, partying, meeting people, and often get bored when they are all by themselves. Number 4. Agreeableness. Being kind, sympathetic and happy to help. Agreeableness is a personality trait which teaches individuals to be adjusting in almost all situations. Agreeable individuals are cooperative and polite, rather than antagonistic and rude. Such individuals do not crib, and face changes with a smile. They accommodate themselves to all situations and are friendly and kind-hearted. People who score high on agreeableness are ready to help others and flash their trillion-dollar smile whenever a problem arises. The 5th parameter which describe an individual's personality, neuroticism. Inclined to worry or be vulnerable or temperamental. Neuroticism is a trait where individuals are prone to negative thoughts, such as anxiety, anger, envy, guilt, and so on. Neurotic individuals are prone to experiencing negative emotions, such as anxiety, depression, and irritation, rather than being emotionally resilient. Such individuals are often in a state of depression and do not know how to enjoy life. They always look at the negative sides of life and find extremely difficult to cope up with stress. The Big Five or FFM was developed to represent as much of the variability in individuals' personalities as possible, using only a small set of trait dimensions. Many personality psychologists agree that its 5 domains capture the most important, basic individual differences in personality traits, and that many alternative trait models can be conceptualized in terms of the Big Five or FFM structure. Disclaimer: the information presented here is merely a collection for respective teaching assignments. Various sources as listed at the end of the presentation, as well as freely available material from Internet, were consolidated to prepare this learning materials. The ownership of the information lies with the respective authors or institutions.